Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? We have two amazing people joining us today that are going to be launching a new show. So, without further ado, let's not keep the audience waiting. Leon, Miranda, how are you both?
Doing well, Lauren. How are you?
Doing awesome, doing awesome. Miranda, how are you?
Excellent, excellent.
That's good. That's good. Please let's go right on in. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and tell us what it is that we can expect to experience with this new show that you all are developing, creating, and if I can start us off by asking you the question, how did the two of you meet? What brought the two of you together to say to yourselves that I want to, share with the listeners, the audience, something that's been pressing upon your hearts.
Leon, do you want to tell the story?
Okay. I attended a virtual event that Miranda was hosting at Florida International University. It was a virtual deal. I sat in on it, and it was about connected to minorities in the hotel business. And I attended it, got a lot of great information. She had some great panelists, great speakers. And being in virtual events is one of the things that I do. I communicated with her through LinkedIn first to introduce myself, and then said, "Hey, there's some things that I think would enhance the next one that you do. So, what do you think? You're open to that?" And she said, "Yeah, sure." And then that led to on and on and on and on, and here we are.
Yes, awesome. Yes, indeed. Miranda, please.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I was so just appreciative of Leon's feedback. And then when we started just chatting, I was like, oh, there's something here. Like, we need to do things.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. And if you all both can share with us a little bit of your background that, speaks to what it is that you recognize why this needs to be something that you all share and come together and provide information and awareness to this. So, Miranda, if you could start us off telling us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm an associate professor at Florida International University, specifically in the Chaplin School of Hospitality and Tourism Management. My area of expertise is in organizational behavior, which of course includes diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it's honestly, it's something that I've just seen. And I think we need to keep talking about it because despite companies having been so loud after the murder of George Floyd, we did not see the needle significantly move. We still haven't seen the needle significantly move. So,
Gotcha. Well put. Well put. Thank you, Leon.
My background, Oren, I'm not supposed to be here today talking about hotels at all. I'm supposed to be the basketball coach at UCLA, and by my
Understood.
plan in my 17th season coaching at
Yeah.
UCLA, um, but as a high school basketball coach, I just didn't win enough games. But
Okay.
fortunate for me, as a high school basketball coach, I was also working in hotels. I worked hotels part time and full time during the summers. And when I decided to give up on the dream of coaching, I went into hotels full time and was fortunate enough to work for some management companies and ownership groups that gave me some tremendous opportunities during my 35 years in the business.
Wow. I tell you something. It's amazing how we come in to find ourselves in a field that we may not have chosen initially, right? It's an old saying, tell God, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan, right? So it's interesting how we get to where we are. But thank you both so much for touching on and sharing with us a little bit about yourselves. Within that being said, as you look at what it is that either has shown itself to be something that's of concern or of issue, Miranda, kind of to what you were speaking to then in turn moving into finding solutions, right? Can you touch on some of the topics that you all talk about that will speak to those concerns and those issues that you find or have found?
sure.
Either one of you all can go first.
Well, actually, Leon, let you go first.
Okay.
Well, one of the things that, and Miranda, you touched on it early on. One of the things you saw 2 years ago after the murder of George Floyd was so many hospitality companies indicating, publicly saying they're going to do a lot in terms of minorities in the business,
Okay.
right? That they made these promises, and it was a lot of talk, and you just didn't hear about anything that was done afterwards. And the same thing with regards to women in the hotel business.
Hmm.
Many companies said that they wanted to put more women in leadership roles and other things, and you just didn't see it. And so we want to have a conversation about that,
Hmm.
to bring to light two things. One is those companies that said they were, and here's what's happening, here's what's not happening, but also organizations that are doing the right thing. We want to make sure they get some notoriety into what they're doing also. Miranda.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we also just want to keep having the conversations, because nothing is going to change if you don't keep the momentum, right?
So
And I
true.
think hearing from other people about their experiences and their perspectives, I think that may help solve some of these problems, or push the needle rather, as well.
Yes, yes, I would agree. I totally would agree. And I'll assume that the audience that gets a chance to watch the show will agree as well. I'm so appreciative that you all spoke to both ends of it, to the concerns, but also to highlight, some agencies that have been tending to these things and addressing these issues. So within that being said, that shows that there are some people that are achieving the mark, right? Setting goals and meeting the goals. What are some of the achievements that you all have, that you have placed out in front of you, that you want to have success in within this show? Miranda, yes.
Oh,
Ladies.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
I think that any opportunity that we get to spread awareness about the issues, right?
Yes.
And kind of brainstorm with our guests possible solutions, or at least places to start, I think that that's very powerful.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I agree with that, and also to hear some stories of women and other minorities that are doing really good things in the hotel business, to kind of share their story of how they made it, and to give some advice to those that are in college, or mid-career, or in entry-level jobs in the hotel business now, to give some advice, direction, some mentorship to help them achieve what their goals are also. So often we forget that we had a struggle, or the folks that helped us, and it's so important that we bring some attention to that also. And so there's so many things that we could talk about during our show, and I'm really excited about the many avenues that we could discuss.
Yes, yes.
Leon, on the flip side of that, I think it'll be really cool if we get some students on the show as well, to share with the industry what this upcoming generation is looking for.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'll tell you something. Miranda, thank you for chiming in to make sure that you highlighted that point, because that was going to go into my bonus question, my last question for you too. What do you all desire to obtain and experience and gain from this, this new venture, this new big show announcement that we have today? What is a takeaway for the two of you that you want to make sure that it's not that you're presenting only for listeners, but that also you want to receive? And Miranda, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've mentioned, I really hope to receive some solutions.
Okay.
And I think that the only way you get to those is by having the conversations.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, I'd like the solutions also to have open dialogue about what is possible, how we can provide more opportunities to more people, and also that it would be a win if we got a call, communication from a company that said, "What you guys are talking about on the show, we're doing it. I want to share it with others," and make sure that those other companies, or ownership groups, or management companies watch it. That would be just a great win when folks start contacting us to say, "I want to be on your show to tell you about what we've done. We recognize this a problem, and we did something about it, and here's what we're doing. Use us as an example." I'd really love for that to happen.
Agreed, 100%. Go ahead, Miranda. I'm sorry.
I was just going to add to what Leon's saying. If there are people sitting back and saying, our company is not interested in doing any of this, or I'm not interested in doing any of this, I would love to talk to them as well, just to find out why.
Yes, I love it. I'll tell you, that is so important to close us out, for this segment that we have right now, is to highlight the fact that there will be some that will take away from this to say, okay, you know what, here's some things that we could do different, to some that will say, no, we're good where we are, So having that dialogue, having that conversation. One big word that stood out to me that the two of you both highlighted was awareness. So with your show, we can say that many will become more aware of the needs of the people that are not being heard. Please, any closing remarks that you could leave us with as we anticipate the first episode of the show? Miranda, please.
I am just so excited. I am so excited to have the conversations. I'm so excited to have the opportunity to have these conversations. So I feel very fortunate.
Leon.
Yeah, I'm excited also to put this show out there and to hear the conversations and watch things change as a result of the conversations, the chats that we have here. I'm excited for where this could lead.
Gotcha. So, had one more that just came up. Do we have a title, a name of the show? Something that we can be able to know that when we see it, we know what to expect. Have you all discussed that, come up with that at all? Or is that still kind of brewing?
Yeah, we just last week came up with our name.
Okay.
Would you like to do the honors?
Yeah. Bing. The name of the show is Checking In, a Lodging DEI Chat.
I love it.
So
I love it.
checking in, as you know, hotels, you check in,
Uh-huh.
right? And a lodging DEI chat. So we talk about DEI in lodging right here and to chat about it. It's a hot name.
Yeah, it
A
really
hot
is.
name. I like it.
It really is. It really is. Yeah, I'm biased, so you know I like it. I love it actually. Thank you both so much for taking the time to share with the listeners, with me, with the audience about what it is to expect with this show. I really believe it's going to be awesome. Awareness is everything. A lot of times we don't take the time to share what it is that are our concerns, and other times we don't take the time to listen to others' concerns. So with that being said, thank you both, Miranda, Leon, and we look forward to it.
Thank you, Arn, for hosting us, and Miranda, thank you for the partnership that we have going on. We've done a lot of things together, articles and other things. So I'm really looking forward to this as well.
Likewise.
Yes. You all have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.